part 3 of this restoration. I finished changing out the plug, got it to a DIN, and I'm gonna mount it here. Let me get a better angle. Mount it here. Power cable. I don't know. Does it come with double-sided tape? Nope. Yeah, since it's a budget, pretty budget built, then we can give you everything. Alright, and the switch is a little short since it's all the way here. What's the best way I can do this? Huh? Oh. Alright, I think I can make this work. Yeah, just enough space. So you just mount it this way, and the switch will work. It's not much tugging. And battery-wise, connector, where does it go? For the lead connector to come out. Let's see. Does it have a slot? Oh, it does. So the slot is in the back. Got it. So I just gotta route it like this in the back. Just put all the wires through this hole, and then that will work. So pretty simple stuff. Red to red, color coded, and give it a little bit of squeezing. Crimp it down. I actually have an actual crimping tool for this, but it's overkill to get it since this fits quite well already. Yeah, if you work on cars, a lot of the tools you can still use them here, even though they're a lot smaller scale. Might need to crimp that a little more. Push it real good. Push it real good. I'm getting too old referencing things that people probably never heard before. But if you're watching this, maybe you're around my age. Alright. And then now I need to get the receiver that I bought. And here is, take a look. I have this for over 10 years too, but probably for less than 30 minutes in it. So I made a new profile, Boss, the FS-GT3B. Actually I have the MB4 Plus coming for my Mini Z, but I don't want to use that one for this because the receiver is a lot more expensive. This is like $5, and the receiver for the MB4 is like 25. And I'll just use it, and let's see. Channel. I have to find this first. Let's get a cheap old battery. Okay, 2S. Oh, I have 3S. No. Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, I have a 2S. I don't remember what is this ESC is rated for, but I'm sure it can do 3S nowadays. Most of them can do that. And let's try out the servo too before I finalize everything. But first I think I need to bind this. Let's do that first, or else things will go crazy. Little binding tool. Don't really remember how I do this. Bind channel 3, and then give it some power. Pokey poke, and I'm going to disconnect the motor first. Disconnect the motor, plug in the battery, switch it to on. Things are flashing, looks good, and I probably want to poke this. Boop. Is it working? Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, pressed the wrong button. Pause. Okay, bind. I have to hold the button here, bind. The binding. Or do I need to watch a video to do this? Probably should. Okay, 1, Alright, be right back. I think I need some help from YouTube. Okay, now I think I know what to do. So you power on the ESC, flashing, and then this is binding. So flashing, now you hold the bind button, and before you power it on, you have to turn off the receiver first, and then reset everything. Let me do it right on first, and then hold the bind button, and then power it on. Okay, now it's bind. Nice. So let's take this out, and turn it off first, and put the receiver in. I mean the servo. Let's take out the servo. Don't want to mess up the steering before tightening everything up. So turn it back on. I'm doing the right channel. Okay. Yeah. Let's try another channel. Channel 2. Maybe it's not the channel. I think it's the wiring that I plugged it wrong. Maybe I plugged it wrong. Need some time to figure this out. Okay, back. I figured out what I need to do. I just need to restart my controller, and everything worked. So green light, everything is working, and then the servo. This is coming to life, coming back to life, and then the motor. Okay, so seems like everything's working. I'll just turn this off and grab some double-sided tape. Plug this. Get things out of my way, and then I'm just gonna try to put the other screw that I found from my bat stash. Put some ring here, and mount the motor too. Okay, now we're on this side of the business. And then just tighten this. Let's see if they're actually the same length. I feel like it's not really fitting. Or the hole that I'm using is different. Yeah, so I need to use which hole? I think it's like this one. A little hard to see. Well, I think this one. Well, this is taking a little longer then, so I'm just gonna cut it short and come back when I'm done putting this in. Okay, I got the motor installed, so I didn't have to use the hole with the that's adjustable. So I just used the two fixed ones. So now it's in place, and then the servo, I already centered it, mounted it. So as you can see, it works now. And then the motor. But that side, the other side is missing the axle. So I 3D printed one. And I'll try to fit this in and see if it works. But for now, I'm gonna clean up some of the surfaces before I use the adhesive, the double-sided tape. Some basic rubbing alcohol will do, since it wasn't too dirty in there when I last checked. Not even dust. So I think the cover did a good job sealing all the dirt from outside. And I have some cheapo foam tape, double-sided. just eyeball this. I mean, usually I will use a tape to measure the length to give it really precise fit, but this car is not a show car and not going to be very aggressive to use, so I think even just eyeballing is good enough. It's kind of like those Siemens car. A lot of them they don't really run, but it's good for show. But mine is a little more practical use, so here's that. I think I should move it as close as forward as possible, so I have space for the switch and not tug on the wire too much. Alright, I'm gonna do it right there. No allergy. Alright, remove the tape. Hold it in for maybe 10 seconds. Usually they tell you, to hold it for 10 seconds and you'll be good. And that's it. Pretty tight on there. And then for the receiver, you can probably put it here. I still have the little antenna. Does it come with one? Yep, it does. A little antenna. Hold it in. Alright. And then let's flip this over and install the. So I'm flipping this over, go for the switch, and then there's a cover on off. See, that's correct. Tiny. Nice. I think the easier way to do this is you screw it on first. So because the switch, they're new, so the first size is probably different. So let's do this. So you screw it in first. Take one screw out. Try to screw it in first. Yeah, this is a bit bigger. So we just got a small tip. Gonna bore it out a little bit. Alright. Alright, this is better. Alright, okay, that should work. It was too tight earlier. The hole was too small. Hold behind. We do it from there. On, off. It's a little hard to hold it in place. Okay, so I mounted the receiver, double-sided tape, everything's mounted. The switch is also mounted. It took a while, so I cut the video short just to mount it because the original bracket didn't. So now I'm just gonna put everything back together, put this cover back on, make sure the wires in the back go into the back and the receiver antenna is here, and then just align the holes. So I'm gonna thread a couple in with my hand first, just to keep it in place, and then I'll use the electric one. It's kind of in place now, so now I use the electric one. Just be a little quicker. I'm not gonna do it all the way since I'm gonna tighten the last few turns with hand in case I strip anything. Okay, and well, let's wipe this one a little bit, kind of dirty. So some 30 years old dirt on there. Damn. Lost my screw. So if you have a magnetic bit, it's a lot easier. You can just pick it right back. Doesn't feel like it's turning anything. And a couple more. And that's the body post. RC back then, they're a lot more simple. This is two-wheel drive, rear wheel. And most nowadays, these kind of trucks, they are mostly four-wheel drive and a lot more complicated with differentials. So now you don't have to deal with that. Gotta be more careful with this car because most parts are not replaceable anymore. You can really find parts, and if you do, people are selling for a lot of money for original parts. Even the stock suspension, they can go for $100 or something. So now I'm just gonna tighten the feel, finish the rest of the screws that I tightened with the electric screwdriver. And a couple more on the side. Tight. Skid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 in the back. It's all good. And then the gear is good too. So I'm gonna put the motor cover back on. Somehow this cover is not going in. Let's take a deeper look at this. Should be this way. Let's try this way then. It's not working because this little rod is blocking. I think it's for the adjustable hole, but I'm not using that, so I'm just gonna cut it short to make it a little more flush. And then I don't know if the screw is not all the way in, and I didn't touch this one earlier. Not working. Okay, so the cover should be good now. The right screw. I mean, even if you don't put this cover on, it's not really too bad. But of course, it's better to have it. Alright, the cover's in. Dry shaft. Next, I'm gonna do the next part. I'll do a part 4 on the drive shaft and then the suspensions and all the tie rods.